Okay. Um. I'll play again question 25. Question 25 again, what we're saying over here is, if for a moment, unless you really think I explained it last time, it's clear to you. Otherwise, listen to question 25. So question 25 is saying, which of the following is considered better? Separate. Now I don't remember. Being considered better doesn't apply to us. In other words, when I'm using the term better here, in halacha, when people say it's better, it's primitive. Over here, when I'm using the term question 25, which of the following is considered better? I'm not referring to the prohibition of better. I'm asking what is considered separating, because there are types of separating that's permitted, like taking the good from bad is permitted, but you are separating, as opposed to just picking up the tissue box and not doing anything. So I'm asking, what in here is considered separating? So I'm not referring to the prohibition. I'm not saying it's prohibited, I'm saying it's separating, which means that if it's considered separating, it may be permitted, it may not be permitted, depends how you do it. But all I'm asking 25 is, what is blended? Which ones of these are you actually separating? Regardless if it's prohibited or permitted, but where are you actually separating? And we explained in the last class, the definition of separating is when it's two different items. It has to be two different items, not the same, mixed together. It's perceived as a mixture. It's very close to each other, it's stuck together. That's when it's considered a mixture.
But for example, if you are separating like small pieces from the big places, it's not separating. If it's like it's only not a piece of
All in one kind, right?
yeah, but that's also you are separate.
That's not separating.
It's not.
It's not, you're not separating. Means,
Yeah, no.
but then it's exactly, that's not an example, then it's not separating, which means that for sure you can. Even when something is considered separating, you're also allowed to keep certain conditions. But in the example that you're telling me, which is on the sheet, that's not separating at all because it's the same kind of food. So you can do it. There's no conditions involved, just it's not even separated. If there's something you want to ask me, you could ask me, Yeah,
What is question number 23 asking?
23, no, it's a 23. Oh, wait, I think you're gonna say. One second, where am I? I'm looking. I'll have two of this. Oh, okay, that's something. Why is it two of this? Oh, there's no, we have two, okay. I didn't even say 24. 23, a good example of an exception, the condition of take good from bad. One of the conditions is to separate, you have to take the good from the bad, right? Now, what's an exception to that one? That you could do it even in taking bad from good.
Oh. Is it cracking up? Taking notes on this?
Yeah, that would be one of them.
Bananas on this?
Oranges, yeah, yeah.
But you think oranges are one, but if it's not, if you eat oranges, then I just look, no.
Oranges is taking the bad from the good. That's an exception to the rule. That you could take bad from the good. It's exception to the rule, because there's three rules. There's always the three rules you have to be aware of, right? Three rules here. Anytime when it comes to separating, you need to follow three rules. And then we're saying that some of the rules have exceptions. Right? The first rule is the food from the waste, the good from the bad. The second rule is samach lachila, close to the time of eating. Third one is the yad, you do it by hand. You need all these three conditions to be allowed to separate. And this condition has exceptions. One of the exceptions is when it comes to many, name a few of them. So nuts, oranges, things that's how you eat it. That's how you get to it by taking off the the weights. That's how you get to the food. So yeah, that is correct. Derech Achil explains that it's the way of eating. That's why you allow to separate when you're taking good from bad. So now, if that's how you eat, that's how we eat oranges. You peel the oranges. So now it's also going to be considered Derech Achila, the way of eating. Yes?
So that is not anything.
Derech Achila explains. Derech Achila explains that why you take good from bad, why you're allowed to separate on Shabbos. Shouldn't be allowed to take even good from bad, you separate. It's Derech Achila, that's not malach, it's called a way of eating. It's not called working on Shabbos, because that's called eating. That's how you eat, you take good from bad. That's why you're allowed to do it. Now, having said that, we say, oh, if I'm taking bad from good, it's not the way of eating. So that's very. But if that's how you eat an orange, is that you peel it. That's how you get to the food. That's the way how you eat an orange. So even though you're taking bad from good, but it's still going to be considered the way of eating. So it's okay if you don't keep this condition because it's the same idea. So the reason why you generally need the condition good from bad, because you take good from bad, then it's called malach. It's not called malach, it's called the way of eating. But if that's how you eat, this is how you eat an orange, is you peel the orange, so it's also called the way of eating. So you're still in that condition of taking good from bad, right? Get it?
Yeah, but that's the answer for 23 or 24.
So in 23, I'm asking, give an example of an exception to the condition of taking good from bad. What's an exception to the rule? Oranges, nuts, anything you have to peel, cantaloupe. If that's how you eat it, you peel it.
And then 24, it's like
24, give an example of an exception to one of the other. This is a tricky question. It's not clear. It's like it's not something I can expect you to figure out. Give an example of an exception to one of the other conditions. Okay, has to be close to the time of eating, has to be by hand. Actually, you could think of an exception to one of the other conditions. You should be able to figure it out. Has to be, one of the conditions has to be by hand. Okay, yeah, is there an exception to that rule?
serving soup.
Yeah. Cutting an orange with a knife, peeling fruits with a knife. You said you're allowed to peel an orange in Shabbos, right? Could you peel with a knife? Using a keli. One of the conditions is has to be by hand. So you're allowed to use a knife. It's an exception. Why is it an exception? Because the issue of using a vessel, a keli, is only when it assists with the separation. Now this sounds tricky. Of course the knife is helping you. It assists with the quote-unquote the separation. It's a vessel that's helping you to separate the two things that are mixed together. With a knife, the knife is not helping you to you need something to help me separate the peels from the orange. It's an orange and a peel. I need something to help, to separate the two, to make sure it's separate, right? Your hand can do a very good job separating. The knife is not to help the quote-unquote the separation of the two items that are mixed or stuck together. It's making it easier for you just to peel the orange. Instead of using your hand, use a knife. So a vessel is only an issue when it actually assists with the actual separation of the two. So you don't have too many situations like this. There aren't too many that is an issue with actually a vessel. The practical situations of not using a vessel on Shabbos to separate is when you have specialized utensils, like we have when you serve salad, you have that what is called the perforated spoon, right? You're serving salad, and you the serving spoon has holes in that side with slots, right? You've seen it. Hopefully not on Shabbos, right? So So you don't, what's that? That's a specialized utensil, so you don't get all the juice and the lemon juice, everything inside your bowl with the salad and all the other foods. It's a specialized utensil for separating. So that's for sure prohibited on Shabbos.
What we said?
Okay, so so I guess we could review it. We started reviewing it, then we'll just you want to ask something?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask, we mentioned that you can't crack nuts.
Who remembers about cracking nuts on Shabbos? What did we say? You could or you can't? Like, if someone asks you halacha, you allowed to crack nuts on Shabbos, what would you answer? You have to answer the question.
Yeah.
You would say yes.
We said yes.
And what's the condition?
Yeah.
What are the conditions to separate nuts on Shabbos?
Right, we're not gonna do that.
So it has to be. Okay, so here you have to, so it doesn't have to be, obviously it can't be the way you do it is Psel Meichel, because we said before, right? So you could just break it. It has to be close to the time of eating. Could you use a nut cracker?
No.
I'm almost sure you could, but it's not to actually help separate, it's just to break the nuts. Breaking the nuts, I don't think, for one sure it's not an issue of using a nut cracker. The nut cracker is not helping you separate, it's just it's hard just to get the shell off, it's just to break it. Even after you break it, it's not separated yet. So there's no issue using your nut cracker on Shabbos. Yeah.
What about after we can?
But let me just finish. Right? So you if someone asks you, "Why you allowed to crack nuts on Shabbos?" The answer is yes. However, the Rebbe tells us not a good idea. The Rebbe says one should be strict. One should refrain from doing this on Shabbos because it can lead to what?
Separating.
It can lead to separating. It can lead to muktzah, because when you have a bunch of nuts and shells on the table in front of you, and now you start separating the shells from the nuts, so you're both separating and you're doing muktzah. So the Rebbe says better not to do it. You should be careful not to do it because what it can lead to. Okay. Okay, so I guess we'll review together now. 21. What is the Isur of Zayda? What is prohibition of Zayda? Anyone knows what Zayda is? Winnowing, which means they would take the chaff with the kernel, with the seed inside, mix together, throw it up in the air would blow away the lighter part, the heavier part, the seed would fall to the ground. And because of that, we cannot spit into the wind, we cannot throw confetti into the air, we can't take like a tablecloth with crumbs in it and shake it out into the air, into the wind. The wind is going to separate. You cannot do that on Shabbos and Yom Tov. 22. What are the three conditions? It's on the board here. Okay. The answer for 22 is here on the board. These are the three conditions. Okay, I think 23 and 24 we did already.
Mm-hmm.
Did we do 24?
Yeah.
We did 24, right? This 74, yeah. Oh, now it comes to 25. Now comes the fun. Okay. A, peeling an orange. Is this considered separating?
Yeah. Yes.
Now, again, the question is not whether you're allowed or not allowed. That's are you allowed to do it in Shabbos? Not even asking that. Is this called separating?
Yeah. Yes.
It's called separating. We're not saying you're not allowed, but it's separating. And if it's separating, you're going to be allowed. If you have conditions, you'll be able to do it. Okay. 2, a B. What's the answer with B? Big and small spoons mixed together.
Oh.
Now, what I'm going to do is, we're going to go to D first. We're going to go to D and then go to B. Look at D. Whole and broken pieces mixed together. I mean food, like broken cashews, almonds, food particles, like carrot sticks, big ones and small ones, mixed together. Is this considered separating?
No.
No, it's not separating. Which means that 100% allowed. There's no strings attached. You can do it and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because it's the same kind. the definition of braided is that it's two different items. If it's the same item, it's not separated. Now let's go to B. Big and small spoons mixed together. Is this considered separating? What are you going to say? You're going to say no, right? Because it's just different size. Huh?
But it is different.
Just different size, right? But
Metal, it's different purposes.
very good. That's what I wanted to hear. It's different purpose. Big and small spoons mixed together is considered different. Has a different purpose, a different function. You use it differently. This is for tea, this is for soup. It's different. So it is considered a mixture. Okay. D. C. Rinsing fruit regular. Okay, but I mean regular is, I mean that it's not dirty. You take a fruit out of the refrigerator, you're just rinsing it. It's not, there's no food stuff, there's no dirt stuck to it. That's what I meant when I said regular. Okay.
There's no.
Is this considered separating?
No.
No. E. Scooping soup from pot. It's complicated. Okay, this we discussed. Who has any insight on this?
It is.
Huh?
It is.
It is separated.
Is it considered separated? Separating? Again, we're not discussing is it permitted? Is this called separated?
Yeah.
I'm taking the soup. I just want the soup. I don't want the pieces. I'm just taking the soup. And is it called separating?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Or it's not.
It's a little more, it's
It's
complicated.
also
Yeah.
one entity because it's one step.
Huh?
Like separate the water and the vegetables and put it away, so.
Right. So it is considered, so it's called separating. So,
But-
yeah, so just answer it simply, yes, it's considered separating. However, if the pieces are on the bottom and the broth is on the top, let's say you're scooping from the top of the pot, which is only liquid, only broth, no pieces, then if you're scooping from the part of the soup where it's only liquid, there's no pieces there, you just, that's not separating. So it's only when you come to the part where it's mixed together and you're like, now you're starting to fish, right? So now it's called separating because because it's all mixed together. But if it's in an area of the soup, let's say the top of the pot, there's no pieces there, only piece on the bottom, let's say, and you scoop from the top. That's not called separating. So you could scoop. So if you want to put away for later, you could scoop and to store away in the refrigerator. There's no problem. It's not called separating. When we discuss about putting away is when it's mixed together, then it becomes an issue. So what said was when you're putting away soup, you just whatever comes. You can have some containers with only soup, some containers with only pieces, and that's how it is. There's nothing you can do about it. Okay, F. Seeds from watermelon.
Yes.
Yes, that's separating. It's also prohibited. Separating and it's happens also for G. Flying soup, is that called
Yes,
separating?
yeah.
Yes. Okay, I don't think we have to go through the whole halach. We did already. Unless there's a request, tell me I could discuss it. Otherwise, we just want to know actually what to do. Hey, a matzah. Hey, H. Sorry. Matzah ball from soup.
Yes.
Wait.
Is that called separating?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The fly is.
No. One second. Answer for H is no.
No.
Not called separating. Because if it's assuming that it's a nice size matzo ball, unless you make these like tiny matzo balls like this. But if it's a regular size, it's not called separating because it's a large item. We don't view it as a mixture with liquid. It's solid and liquid. Generally, solid and liquid is not viewed as a mixture. It's just like two separate items, one inside the other. But when it's tiny pieces like a fly, and if you take it out, so then we look at it as a mixture because it requires because of the size, especially with a fly, it's not so simple to take out. Then it's called separated.
So what if the vegetables in soup are also?
Wait a second. You had a question? Who was gonna? Oh, you were gonna ask something.
So you said the right way to do it. I don't know if there's another way. Is that if you take the fly out with a little bit of soup?
Oh, how do you do the fly? So how do we do the fly? Who knows how to do the fly?
So try and like dump it out in the trash.
Right. So the way the Alter Rebbe tells us to do it is
Can you blow it?
You could blow it
And then,
till and before the edge. Not over the edge. You can blow it until the edge, right before the edge, and then you pour it out. That's how you can do it.
And then you eat it?
Then you eat what? The leftover soup, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. But it can only be done if you're going to be eating it now. If you're storing it away, putting it away, then you can't. So we're talking about that you're going to eat the soup now. Because you're still separating. It's just a way to take the goods from the bad. By pouring it out, what's left in your hand is what you're taking. Get it?
But
Yeah.
I have one question.
Huh?
So if you you can drain the soup down the sink if you have the little, right? Like then you have left like bunch of pieces of food and then it's go to the garbage. You can't do that.
Okay, so the question is being asked now, if let's say you want to get rid of the soup, like you're done with the soup, right? You just want to spill it out. You spill it out into the sink. When you spill it into the sink, the strainer catches the pieces. I have to double check. I'm almost sure it's not a problem. You could do it. I don't think that's considered separating. The intention is not to separate. Potentially, I don't think it's an issue. You're not trying to separate, you're trying to get rid of the soup. Strainer is there. It's not your intention to separate. You don't want the stinks to get stuffed. I don't think that's an issue. Got to check. Yeah.
this family, I know that on Shabbos they don't use.
And what?
This family, I know that on Shabbos they don't use their Brita filter, like, like the water filters that you can use. Is that allowed? 'Cause
Okay, so the question is, could you use a water filter on Shabbos? Using a water filter, you use filtered water. Some people use filtered water, only filtered water, for halacha purposes, or for health reasons, whatever the reason is. Some use filter. Is that called separate? You're trying to separate something. The answer is that if a person only uses filtered water, is very particular. He never uses only filtered water, then it becomes an issue. Then it's very questionable if you do it in Shabbos. Either or even prohibited. I'm just saying could be just some leniency there, but it's very questionable. If a person only uses filtered water, he never uses unfiltered water, he only uses filtered water, then using the filter it becomes an issue in Shabbos. But people who use both, it's not a problem. Because you're not particular about it. So you don't really care. So it's not like you're interested in separating it and you can drink it the way it is. It's not considered waste because you drink it anyways. The idea is because it's like two separate things. You don't want that item. It comes like two separate things. But if you drink it the way it is anyways, just sometimes you filter, then it's one thing. It's not considered like waste inside. So it's not called, so then it's not an issue. Okay, yeah, you had a question for you.
I did have another question, but now I have another question. If you're at somebody's house and like you have something in your soup, like, cause I don't really imagine myself like, blowing it and then where would I?
Someone else's house.
Yeah, somebody's.
Okay, so you're discussing halacha in a practical way. We're discussing in a very practical way. In someone's house, they have a fly in your soup, let's say, what are you going to do? So that's a different type of question which we could discuss. I mean, it's halacha. This is how you do it in someone else's house, so you're not comfortable getting up from the table and saying, "I have a fly in my soup." You go to the sink. So what are you asking?
I'm asking like
what should you do
in
someone else's house?
Like, should I just not eat it?
It's on according to your level of comfort. Oh, could you just not eat it?
No, I don't know. Like, what would be the best way? Or I don't
So
know.
you're not comfortable doing this procedure of spilling it out?
Not in everyone's house.
So what's your question? Could you eat it? Could you eat the soup with fly inside?
That's the only thing you can do to blow it and like pour it out. That's the only.
What else? Tell me. What else do you want to do? You want to use a spoon? You want to take out with a spoon?
Yeah.
Now, Rebbe says in the Siddur we should be careful and not to do it this way. Now, if Rebbe says he's concerned, they might be transgressing Shabbos. So he's saying be careful not to use a spoon, because when you take with a spoon, the whole thing is chucked into the garbage. The whole spoon, the liquid and the fly. So the whole soup becomes like waste. You get it?
That you took out?
There's a leniency that Rosh Hashanah use a spoon,
Right,
because now you're not taking just the waste, taking the good also.
yeah,
Not that I'm strict about it, because very simple reason. What are you doing with the spoon that has the fly inside? The whole thing is going into the garbage. So it's like all garbage.
oh, with the spoon.
Yeah, when you take a spoon, take out the fly with the spoon. What do you do with the spoon? You're gonna try to like chisel out the fly and then eat the rest of the spoon, or eat the rest of the soup that's inside the spoon? No. The
Oh,
whole
right.
thing's gonna go into the garbage. That's what I'm strict about it. So you don't want to use a spoon. So what's the option? In someone's house, if either you're comfortable, if you're not comfortable, then you won't eat the soup. And you're not comfortable not eating the soup. So at some point you have to like make yourself comfortable, and I don't know what to tell you. You have to. This is telling you what you're allowed to do or you're not allowed. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You-
No, it's good.
you try in a nice way to sort of like. There's ways, say, oh, you have a. It's not embarrassment to the host. It's not the host, unless you feel that it's on them, like there's something there that's if a fly, if you find, sometimes you could find like a piece of hair or something, then it becomes like a little
Right.
like, oh, they weren't careful when they made the soup. If it's a fly, the fly fell in out. I don't have to tell you, it's and it makes them feel bad. It's not simple, right?
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know myself what I would do. I would have to figure out according to where I am, like what makes sense,
let's jump to the person next.
Available.
Uh,
Yeah, so what would you do?
what would I do? I don't know.
You don't know?
Depending where I am, I would have to figure it out. I don't know.
Right,
It would be uncomfortable, but depending, I mean, if it's like I said, if you find a piece of hair, it'd be embarrassing to the host.
yeah,
The host wasn't careful and she made the soup and a piece of hair
Right.
fell in it. So you have to be careful. It's not so simple. You don't want to, the story of Al Rebbe, the soup was very salty. Right, that's the story.
no, I don't know.
Al Rebbe was there, yeah. No, you don't have
No.
Al Rebbe once invited to a place with another great person, and we served soup. And the soup is very, very salty. So Al Rebbe just kept on eating it, ate the whole thing. And the other person, they looked at him, how can you eat it? So he says, I don't understand what happened. It's, let's remember the details now. Apparently, the main point of the story is Al Rebbe didn't want to cause embarrassment to the host, but I think there was like an orphan girl who was working there, and Al Rebbe was concerned that she would lose her job. There's some details I don't recall exactly, but the bottom line is Al Rebbe kept on eating it not to cause embarrassment to anyone, because apparently they put in too much and she wasn't to whatever. So Al Rebbe just ate the whole soup. So I'm saying, be careful not to embarrass the host. But the question, what do you do? I don't know. There's no. You can just, what you can do? Just try to eat around it. If you, so
Yeah,
it's not for some people can't deal with it. I understand that. That they get it. Well, I ask you what I would do. I might eat around it.
Mhm.
I'll be comfortable eating around it. Some people can't handle it, and I understand you, but that's what I would do. And then not eat the whole soup. Not eat the soup at all is like you're not eating. So you
Right.
eat, but you eat around it, so you stay away from the piece of hair or whatever. That's what I would do. But I can understand that people can't deal with it. So
thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just had a question about the utensils, because we talked about how you can take, good from that, but food. Oh no, I think that, but so, I don't really understand why we can get only the forks and stuff, but even if it's right before you. I think
If it's right before eating, you're coming home from shul, and all the cutlery is mixed together, you could separate the cutlery to set the table. You could, yeah,
Oh.
because it's close to the time of eating. Yeah.
Oh, so you can take over.
You could separate the cutlery when you come home from shul. It's, what are the conditions? Close to the time of eating, it's close to the time of eating.
Yeah.
So there's no problem.
Huh.
This condition is the most prevalent condition, so that's like the one that you have to be, comes up all the time. The other ones is like exceptions to this, exceptions to that. But this one is like, usually when you have this, usually you're okay. If it's close,
Okay.
in most situations, it's close to the time of eating, there are exceptions. I mean, certain things you can't take the piss out of the watermelon. But in many types of mixtures, if it's close to the time of eating, you're fine. So to set the table, the cutlery that's mixed together when you come home from shul, and now we're going to eat some. That's called close to the time of eating, because whatever time you need to prepare for the meal, even though it's not right before, because it takes there's a lot of work to do before you start the meal. But that's called close to the time of eating. It takes time to prepare for the meal, so it's called close to the time of eating. Okay. Any questions? Okay, so we finished the review. So tomorrow we'll continue with the next malacha of teichen, grinding. If we do finish teichen, we'll also go to lush, which is lean. Okay? Good day, everyone.
Tomorrow, we're gonna have a semester class for lots of period. Okay?
I think we can three.
Okay. I know, you know.
Oh, yeah, you can.
We can watch that one, that's better than. When it's like 8 times.